What more can I say? Well, welcome to LA. It's exciting stuff. On to the next chapter. If you guys want to engage, I'm watching the chat. So, we have a fireplace. That's quite nice. We have a lot of epic content lined up for you. We are incorporating new technology. This is pretty cool. This is just the iPhone camera we're using, and you can see that here. And that's shout out to New Tech for their newest build that incorporates a very sleek iPhone application via the NDI wireless connection. It's quite nice. As you all know, we finished a massive cornerstone project in our evolution. That project is called High Level Perception. It's available for free, highlevelperception.com. It's also available on our YouTube channel. The whole book takes about 20 minutes or so to get through if you do it yourself on the website. And it's just 20 visuals. It's an artistic compression, a distillation of the most profound things that I've learned. I think in many ways it's the future of communication. It's what Generation Z and Generation Alpha wants. It's what Michelangelo, William Blake, one could argue that the greatest artists of all time were in fact the greatest distillers. They were the best compressors of abstract concepts into relatable memes. It's a lot of what we're focused on here in LA is becoming the absolute best at memes, becoming mimetic gods. So we have many components. We have the component of interviewing people in Los Angeles that have the highest clout, the most influence, the most fame, asking them humanity's most thought-provoking questions. This means things like hearing what people like Kanye West or Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift have to say about what they think the nature of reality is, what they think the nature of consciousness is, how they think we can architect our social fabric to maximize human potential. And unpacking their journeys, their wisdoms, and that's interviewing. And then we have the dissemination of the most profound things that I've learned, the continued dissemination of it. So it'll be more of me talking to you directly with notes, with visuals, with things that come along the ride with us to help you fully grasp the profundity visually of what we're trying to communicate. So you'll get a lot of those streams that we'll be doing. You'll get a lot more documentaries. We're working on anthologies. We're working on animated series. We're working on becoming the go-to destination for everyone on the planet to disseminate their memes in a way that is relatable, inspirational, engaging, educational, compressed, distilled. Today I was on the phone with a buddy. We were talking about applied cryptography. He was giving me a very powerful analogy to understand fully homeomorphic encryption. So, in order to understand something like fully homomorphic encryption, you need a really powerful analogy. You need really powerful visuals for the masses to get these things, to understand what snark is in cryptography as well. Can you compress that down to 2 minutes in an animated video and teach the world an analogy for understanding homomorphic encryption and snark? So I see that some people are commenting about the volume. Thanks for bringing that up. So some of our accessories have yet to arrive, including the windscreens for the Audio-Technica mics. So those will be coming in soon. I'm also getting a 1/4 inch to auxiliary adapter for the Allen and Heath mixer we have, so I can hear the playback. There's a lot of interesting nuance that goes into running a full-scale video production facility. And it's interesting because video production used to cost millions of dollars, and it used to be kept out of the reach of the public. And it's great because a lot of that has changed. So now you can get a really nice video production setup for under 50 grand, and you can stream whatever you want, whenever you want, via technologies like the TriCaster, directly to a content delivery network. But it's complex. I'm still a kid at it, but it's a lot of fun. It's a great learning experience. We have moved our recording studio from San Francisco to Los Angeles after spending, since I was 19, in San Francisco. So I've been there 9 years. And traveled a lot, did a lot of different startups, trying to figure out what my gifts are. And I landed on simulation, interviewing different minds at the edge of their fields and trying to make their wisdoms relatable. Just last week we moved down to LA. I love Los Angeles. I've been here many times. I've been interviewing here a lot, actually. A lot of different brilliant people here. I'm really excited for you guys to see the show back in an interview a day mode, because it's been a while since you've gotten an interview a day. I published the interviews from New West Summit, American Anthropological Association, Transformative Technology Conference, and our 3 weeks in China. I published all of those interviews basically at the end of 2019 and beginning of 2020 and trickled those out. And so it's been, 10 months. It's been a long time. And I know what that's like. I know what that's like because when you're used to an interviewer and you're used to them bringing on really good guests, it's important to have them be able to continue producing content on a regular basis in order for you to feel like you're able to continue digesting the wisdoms that they're trying to communicate. I hope you found value in the fact that after 700 interviews in 2 years that I took time to synthesize the most profound things I had learned and give you that as a piece of content. And then make this move. Well, I'm just really excited. I'm really grateful that we have all you. We had a bunch of comments about what I think of Bitcoin, why we left San Francisco. We had some good luck. Thanks, guys. In short, I'm very, very bullish on cryptocurrencies. Very bullish. And there's nothing quite like biomimicking the decentralization that exists with things like mycelial networks, mycorrhizal networks, the way that they have a two-way resource exchange with plants underground. That's billions of years of wisdom right there. So it's going to be exciting having a frictionless exchange of value across the planet. It's very exciting. We had saturated San Francisco decently well, and there are a lot of brilliant people in San Francisco, so it's quite hubristic to even say that we had saturated the Bay Area, but we had done a decent job at exploring the different, you can call them nodal clusters in the Bay Area. We did a really good job at that. So we explored those. We learned a lot, and now it's time to take our biggest questions to Los Angeles, the place with people with the biggest clout. As you guys probably know, in 2018, 2019, I wasn't so obsessed about the nature of reality and the nature of consciousness. Now, more than ever, I'm obsessed about those two things, and so, which are really one thing. And so I'm bringing that most first principled question right into the heart of the most influential people on the planet, very genuinely, very authentically, very lovingly, very skillfully, and then having them evolve and awaken more to that, as well as have their large audiences who watch them and follow them awaken to the nature of reality and consciousness at a deeper experiential level. So it's super exciting stuff. Very pumped. Super grateful that we have all these different diverse people around the planet that watch us, that care about what we do here. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed High Level Perception. That the physical copy of High Level Perception will be published before Christmas. We're aiming at around December 10th for that to be available on Amazon and many other outlets. And I'm working with a really strong team that's really well versed in this process, and so they're going to help redesign the website that I built myself at a super high level of like 2025-esque design, as well as do a bunch of dissemination of content that inspires people around the world to check out these compressions of wisdom in art, the 20 images, and then be able to have people from around the world pick up the book, share it with their kids, share it over Christmas, get it as a gift, keep it on the table, revisit some of the images, build on top of it. So it's a team effort. So super excited for that. You'll see more of these Los Angeles interviews pouring out from the mid to late November. So from mid to late November, we're going to be live streaming interviews approximately daily. And same thing, December and 2021 onward. So you'll keep seeing those. And just hyper grateful again. Thanks so much. You'll see me doing a lot of art. So basically, one of the main things that happens in podcast conversations is just two talking heads. But instead of just two talking heads, I am going to be playing with something really interesting, which is taking this angle from behind me onto what I will be sort of here artistically composing. So I will be live creating art about what our guest is teaching us, and you will be able to see the art that I'm creating through that angle, camera angle, and we'll have the 4 shots as well in one screen of all 4 angles as well. And the guest and I will be discussing the concepts and the art that I'm making. That way, what we're trying to do is we're trying to constantly draw out what is the most salient and what is most relevant and what is most wise from the dialectic between us. It's something that all of the top podcasts don't do yet, and I highly recommend mimesis here. Copy this idea. Please, we need podcasts to have art happening that is drawing out what is most salient from the 3-hour conversation. And then also what it does is it keeps, for example, when you're talking about consciousness and their perspective about it, you're able to really stay on that point rather than venture off into where the monkey mind usually runs away after just a couple minutes on the subject, and then before you know it, you're talking about something that's completely less relevant and exciting. So stay tuned for that as well. Aw. Wow. That's a really nice comment, Guy. Thank you. Said high level perception is freaking amazing. It's a Lindy book. It will still be relevant in 50 plus years. That's very, very, very kind of you. Thank you. For those that don't know, Lindy is a concept of Nassim Taleb. So it'd be very, very awesome if we can inspire more people to create things of very high level genius that instead of disappearing in the transient 24/7 evolutionary pacer of modernity, especially with the information technology age, if we took the people that are several standard deviations up the bell curve and had their art be focused on being Lindy, so that everything that they build lasts a year, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, really focus on it. Whatever the pseudonymous deployment of Satoshi Nakamoto and the decentralization technologies happen, what do you think? How long will decentralization technologies be with us? For the rest of time? For the rest of this cycle? So, it was actually quite revelatory, mostly. It was just an unveiling. It was a titration of our pinnacle direction of where we could possibly head to maximize prosperity. Again, it was very biomimicked. So it's exciting stuff. Love you guys very much. Thank you. Get pumped for LA. I'm so pumped. So grateful. I've had a lot of very beautiful people in our lives here already that have made tremendous impact on the world, that are helping us make sure that our impact continues at the super high rate that is possible. So, love you all very much. Huge things ahead. Build the future. Manifest your dreams into the world. We love you very much. Investigate your consciousness. And watch yourself become more enlightened. Much love. Peace. Thanks, everyone.